there, and welcome to Lost in Literature. I'm going to take up the degrees of comparison today. Um, like, how can we transform it from positive degree to comparative degree and then to superlative degree? Because that's what they ask you in your language paper, the grammar part. And if you want to ace up your scores, there are certain things that you have to understand about degrees of comparison. So let me start with uh, type 1. Yeah, I have categorized them into types so that it's easy for you to kind of internalize the structure. All right. So, type 1, which is fairly simple. All right. Um, Positive degree first. No other dog is as crazy as my Choo-hoo. As crazy as. That's a fixed form for positive. You can also say no other dog is so crazy as my Choo-hoo. That's also acceptable. Crazy, if you note, is a word with just one syllable. So um, it takes on automatically ER in the comparative degree and EST in the superlative degree. Okay, but let's take another adjective which is longer, which has more syllables. No other dog is as intelligent as my Choo. Now, here you will be adding more intelligent than for comparative and the most intelligent of all. All right, for the superlative. So that's the way it goes. Let me read these examples to you. Uh, Choo is crazier than any other dog, and Choo is more intelligent than any other dog. Looks like I'm repeating it. Anyway, I'll go on. And then you have the superlative degree. And there you have Choo is the craziest dog of all. And you the to add the definite article, there's a must, the craziest dog of all. And if you were using intelligent, then you will have to say Choo is the most intelligent of all dogs. All right, so this is type 1 for you. And if you stick to this pattern, you will not have a problem. Just stick to it. All right? Okay, let's move on to type 2. And this is a little more complicated than type 1 because it's, well, a little complicated, as I said. All right, so the positive uh, form would be, you see, the beginning itself is different. Few dogs are as crazy as my Choo. Or if the adjective you're using has more syllables, then few dogs are as intelligent as my Choo. That's your positive form. Let's go on to the comparative. Choo is crazier than most other dogs. Crazier than most other dogs. Crazier than most is the form accepted here. And if you were to uh, use the adjective intelligent, then it would be Choo is more intelligent than most other dogs. So that is again a typical pattern. All right. So let's go on to the superlative of type 2. Choo is one of the craziest of all dogs. One of the craziest. Okay. Um, And using one of the is important here in the superlative degree. And if you were to use the word intelligent, Chuhu is one of the most intelligent of all dogs. Chuhu is one of the most intelligent of all dogs. One of the most intelligent. Now, this pattern, as you know, is a little different from type 1. But I would definitely advise you to completely internalize these two types, because they'll give you one type and you will have to and ask you for superlative or comparative, and you should stick to their type when you're transforming the sentence. Like, for instance, you cannot mix up type 2 positive with type 1 positive. All right, you cannot mix it up because it wouldn't be right. Okay, now we can also look at another construction here, uh, which kind of touches on the negative. All right, I would call it type 3. Anisha is not so clever as some girls in her class. Well, comparisons could be good and bad. All right, so Anisha is not so clever as some girls in her class. Not so clever. And the comparative would be some girls in the class are cleverer than Anisha. And the superlative would be Anisha is not one of the cleverest girls in the class. So there you are. This is on the negative side. All right. Let's go on now with more of the negative patterns. The tiger is as ferocious as the lion. Okay, that would be the sentence given to you, if at all. The tiger is as ferocious as the lion, and you would be asked to change it into negative. Then you have to watch it, because you have to express the exact meaning. You cannot change the meaning. So, how do you transform it? It means the lion is not more ferocious than the tiger. The lion is not more ferocious than the tiger. That's the way you change it into negative. Look at the twist. They give you the degree of comparison, and then they'll ask you for the negative. So please don't be tricked by that. So when you say the lion is not more ferocious than the tiger, what you mean is that the lion and the tiger are equally ferocious, neither less nor more. All right, look at this. This church is the biggest in Mumbai. Change into negative. Well, you cannot say this church is not the biggest in Mumbai, because you're changing the meaning there. So you have to stick to no other church in Mumbai is as big as this church. So there you are. You have used, the positive degree to express something in the negative manner. Tricky, huh? And look at this, the third one. The airplane flies faster than birds. Change into negative. Which means birds do not fly as fast as airplane. Invariably, in the last three sentences, you will not be asked for the superlative, because there are only two things involved. All right, objects involved: tiger, lion. Okay, all right, or airplane, birds. Fine. Um, there is one more. This is a little. I I tell you, it is a little bewildering, but there you are. Gayatri Deluxe is not the tallest building in the city. It's not the tallest building in the city. So now, if they ask you for the comparative, then you have to say Gayatri Deluxe is not taller than some other buildings in the city. So, when you're dealing with degrees of comparison and you're asked to transform them, please be alert. All right? Don't do an automatic job. Think of the meaning of the sentence and preserve it in your transformation. Now, there is another thing I must point out to you, and that is, um, adverbs. Now, uh, degrees of comparison also applies to adverbs. All right? So let's look at some of the adverbs, and I've got some examples here. For instance, the first one, you need to check your work a little dash within brackets careful. All right, and you've been asked to give the comparative form, so you have to say you need to check your work a little more carefully. A little more carefully. Now, when you add ly to careful, you know that it's an adverb and it relates directly to the verb. All right? Okay, let's look at the next one. Sorry, can you speak a bit dash slow, please? Again, you're asked for the comparative form. Sorry, can you speak a bit more slowly, please? Slowly, as you know, refers straight away to speak. Speak a little more slowly, more slowly. So that is the comparative. Let's take the third one. Although my team, um, although my team easily played, they didn't win the match. All right. Although now you can go for the superlative. Although my team easily played the best, good would automatically become the best. Superlative. They didn't win the match, even though they easily played the best. Wonder what the problem was there. All right, let's go on to the next one. Kate did dash of all the students in her exam. Again, superlative. Kate did the worst of all the students in her exam. She did the worst. All right? So, this is how you convert, you use adverbs, you know, in the positive, comparative, and negative degrees. Okay, so keep that in mind. And let's go on to the next bit. I just want to give you a list of irregular adjectives, adverbs. Please note it because these things turn up too for the exam. So I have kind of made a table here. Let's take a look at it. List of irregular adjectives, adverbs. You have the positive, the comparative, and the superlative in 3 columns. And the first one, little, less, and least. All right, that's how it works. Little, less, least. And then you have bad, worse, worst. All right? Note, I feel silly saying it because I'm sure none of you make that kind of blunder anymore. It's not bad, badder, and baddest. All right. The next one, I have put in 3 variations: good, well, and fine. So all of them take better and best. All right. And then, of course, I put down many here, which would be more in the comparative form and most in the superlative form. And then you have far, further, and farthest. So this is in terms of distance. All right. The house is farther than I thought. In terms of physical distance, farther, farthest. And then you have far. And this is in terms of figurative distance. For instance, further, and then you have furthest. For example, I can't extend help that far. I cannot extend help that far. And for further example, I cannot help you further. And for furthest example, this is the furthest I can help you, no more. All right. And then you also have in, and comparative would be inner, but please note, superlative would be innermost. Similarly, out, outer, and outermost. All right. So just go through these types and internalize it. And I'm sure you will be picking up good, marks for the grammar part of it. All right. So see you again next time in Lost with Literature with more transformations. Yeah, I'll get to Julius Caesar somewhere along the line, but I want to get done with the grammar part because that's where you score a lot of marks, right? So if you like my channel, do hit a like, and well, I would love it if you subscribe to it. Bye for now.